Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
I think that Grant Udinski would be a great head coach. I think he's ready. I think Kevin O'Connell has talked about him. I just think that, yes, he doesn't have any play calling experience. Yes, he's young. He's only 29 years old. I just think that we need a breath of fresh air, and I think that's with him. He's not a flashy name, but at the end of the day, in my honest opinion, I think he's the next Sean McVay. I think it's just the wealth of experience that he has and the offense that he brings. So, yeah, go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. It's always challenging and dangerous to find the next whomever, be it Sean McVay or Bill Cowher or Bill Belichick. The other thing I would say, for some of these young guys, like even Pitcher and Udinski and even Shieldhouse, right now there's an opening in Pittsburgh where if they've had a history of finding 30-somethings that can coach. They've had 3 head coaches. They're going on their 4th with this hiring cycle since 1969. So if you're advising one of these young guys, that's the place to go because they'll give you time.
Yeah, now they'd have to like you too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting with these guys, with any of these, the young guys you want to group together, because there's a reason they're out there. There's a reason teams have interest in them, because they have a great reputation, because they're coaching on a staff that you're impressed with, because they've risen up through the ranks really fast. You could throw Tommy Reese into that group, right? Young guys that have a great reputation that people would think are going to be star coaches in this league. The issues are you don't know if they're going to be a good head coach. Udinski's never been a head coach. He's never been a play caller. So you're taking a couple of leaps. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get it right. You certainly can get it right. And if you do, then you hope that he's Mike Tomlin or Andy Reid or John Harbaugh and he's with you for 20 years, right? That's the ideal situation. Now, if you look across the league, there's not a whole lot of guys like that. And there's 9 head coach openings right now. And there's only 32 teams in the league. So, I think it can be dangerous going, hey, we're going to find the guy for the next 20 years. Like, get it right for the next 3 years, right? Get a guy that can take you to the playoffs sooner rather than later and believe that he's the right guy, as opposed to perhaps reaching. I think that's a dilemma that teams will have. I think it's a dilemma the Browns will have. I'm not saying don't do it, but obviously when you're that young, and maybe I'm just getting too old, but there's concerns that come with that. There's serious questions that come with that about filling out the staff, right? Now, maybe Andrew Berry would be in position to help him, and you keep Jim Schwartz at coordinator and his staff if Schwartz is willing to stay, right? There's a bunch of moving pieces where you hand it all to a guy that's 30 years old or 32 or whatever guy you're talking about. There's danger that comes with that, and you better get it right. Whereas you hire a guy like Mike McDaniel or a guy that's been around the league longer, there's just fewer question marks. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just fewer question marks.
The other thing is a guy that is 30-something, a young guy who's skipping a level, play calling and that. You almost have to have him have some success early so he doesn't feel like he's in over his head and struggling. That would be the biggest concern I would have, is you have to have success early with a guy like that where at least he doesn't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'd agree. Each guy's personality is different, right? Some guys could handle that. I flash back, Rob Chudzinski was a one-and-done guy here. And things didn't go well, and you could see it wearing on him as the season went along. I don't know if you can forecast that. You can talk to people, you can talk to him, and say, no, he's got the right personality for it. But you're right, David. You don't know if things go badly. How does he handle it? Do people turn on him? What's the support inside the building? All those things are difficult to forecast for a guy who's never done it before. And not only never done it before, hasn't been around the league that long, right? Kevin Stefanski had never done it before, but he'd been with Minnesota for like 14 years. Udinski's been done playing for like 5 years or 6 years. So it's a different history that he would bring. And the same goes, for Shieldhouse and, guys in that ilk.